All right, welcome to the first of its kind, world-changing manufacturers network. Lisa Ryan has her ears to the ground and her heart in the game. Get ongoing education and new connections right here with Lisa and the Manufacturers Network. Buckle your seat, listen, and spread the word. Here's Lisa.
Hey, it's Lisa Ryan. Welcome to the Manufacturers Network podcast. I'm excited to introduce our guest today, Laura Phillips. Laura serves as Vice President of Engineering and Procurement at Pella Corporation, a company marking its 100th year anniversary as one of America's leading window and door manufacturers. Beyond her role, she's known for advancing collaboration, innovation, and inclusion in manufacturing, principles that reach far beyond one organization. So, Laura, welcome to the show.
Lisa, thank you so much for having me. I'm truly honored to be here and speak with you today.
So share with us a little bit about your background and what led you to doing what you do.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of leading our engineering and procurement teams at Pella Corporation. You mentioned it in the intro, but Pella is a large manufacturer of windows and doors. We have 21 manufacturing sites now, almost 11,000 team members. So it's a really cool opportunity to lead and drive progress within the manufacturing industry. I was drawn into engineering really as a student. I was a proud nerd for science and math, still am, and really wanted to use my science and math skills to help people, which is what sucked me into engineering because it's all about problem solving and innovation in your field. And then I really got hooked up with manufacturing because of Pella Corp. Pella Corp was in Iowa. Their headquarters was in Iowa, which is where I really wanted to live and work. And they were known locally for having this tremendous culture, this people-focused culture, having a great work environment. So I wanted to work for Pella and then happened to take my first role in manufacturing as a manufacturing engineer. If I'm being totally honest, when I started in that job, I was a little hesitant. I wasn't sure that manufacturing specifically was for me because of some of the preconceived notions that I had created in my mind about maybe it being dirty, maybe it being a challenging environment for women. And I'll tell you that wasn't it was very far from the truth. I absolutely loved working in manufacturing. When you see the frontline working, that manufacturing is the heartbeat of an organization, creating the pace, serving our customers, this orchestration of collaboration that's required in order to get products out on time, in full, with no issues each and every day. It's truly incredible. And that's what hooked me and why I built my career in the manufacturing industry.
So you said you had a lot of hesitation as far as being a woman going into the male-dominated field, as you said, as you shared, of manufacturing. So what do you say, or would you say to young girls and young women who are thinking about coming into the field but have some of the same fears that you had?
Yeah, that word fear, you got to use it as fuel, right? Use your fear as fuel. Manufacturing is not the old pictures, right? The old textbooks, dingy, dirty, dull. I know our factories, they're bright, they're full of life, they're full of technology, they're full of innovation, they're full of creativity. The manufacturing industry also matters. So for me, like wanting to be able to give back and do work that I felt like mattered in the economy, mattered in our communities. When you think about the sheer number of jobs that manufacturing creates, it's incredible in the communities in which we operate. And so the work matters. I know for me in particular, I've also had just this tremendous opportunity to learn and grow and develop in a large manufacturing company. I've gotten to work directly in production. I've gotten to work in our marketing team, in project management, in a variety of engineering roles. I've gotten to see so much of the business and learn and grow and develop through the manufacturing industry. Just the learning opportunities are endless. And it's a great environment to go invest, make a difference, and learn and grow.
So what were some of the early influences or experience that you had that really helped to shape how you lead today?
It started growing up. I had a great grandmother. Grandma Henry was her name. She's Henrietta to me. This woman was fierce and loyal. She was a leader in her own right. She happened to be a female leader in ag business when women generally weren't working very often and certainly weren't working in ag. So she built this tremendous career of leadership and used to tell me all of the stories about it, encourage me to dream big, to lean in and do things that I thought was hard. And so she was definitely a spark plug for me to think about a career of growth and development and leadership. And then I've just been really fortunate, especially at Pella. Pella is a great caring culture, a culture of mentorship and support. And so I have been supported and encouraged throughout my career, and have also invested in programming to help support others. I was supported, so I wanted to be able to support others through mentorship programs and connection programs to help support growing and developing others in their career as well. So I'm just really fortunate to have gotten hooked up with such an amazing company that invests so deeply in its people.
No, it's funny because that's one of the things I share in a lot of my programs is that managers raise their people the way that they were raised. And it sounds like you were raised well by your supervisors who invested in you and mentorship and all of those programs, which encourage you to do the same for your people. Hey, thanks for backing me up on that.
Great.
You mentioned that Pella's in its 100th year anniversary, but also that the plant is pretty much bright and shiny. So many manufacturers balance that proud legacy with the pressure to modernize. So what practices have helped preserve the craftsmanship that you're known for while still continuing to drive innovation forward?
Yeah, so we're so proud of you mentioned our 100-year milestone, so proud of achieving 100 years. It's less than 1% of companies that actually make it to that milestone. So it's truly an incredible feat. Pella was founded on an innovation, a roll screen innovation is how we started. And honestly, a dream about creating manufacturing jobs in Iowa by our founder, Pete Kuiper. So certainly a legacy of craftsmanship, innovation, serving customers, growing, and the purpose is creating great jobs. So that's the legacy for 100 years. And that caring culture has been a huge part of what got us to 100 years and also is anchored in when we think about setting our eyes on the next 100 years. One of the things that's been really cool is really the focus on constant evolution, change, improvement. We are a lean manufacturer. Continuous improvement is an important part of how we work every single day. Our lean practices started over 30 years ago now, and they're embedded in the way we operate. It's part of our culture. And so there's this relentless pursuit of getting better every single day, getting better for our customers, but also getting better internally to continue to make the jobs better, make them more attractive, stay in front of the competition with this winning spirit. And so I do think that our CI culture has been really important to us. I think also the focus and investment and commitment to innovation. We have a dedicated innovation team that is, I would call them obsessed with our customer. They're going out doing research all the time about the pain points, problems, challenges that our customers face. And then they're bringing back solutions that we can embed to help serve that customer better in the marketplace. Last year, we had a chance to launch a brand new innovation called Steady Set. Steady Set is a new interior installation method. And this was really the fruits of the labor of getting to know the challenges of the installer. When you think about a window or a door, it's only as good as the install. And installation is a really challenging trade, challenging to find labor. It's physically demanding. And this innovation was all about making it better for the installer, safer, faster, easier, higher quality for that installer. And that's been great fuel for us to drive growth, but also build relationships in the market because we're listening and we care about the value stream and all of the trades that have to touch our products. So that's just one example of the investments in innovation. It's really built into our DNA and how we think about advancing into the future, which without innovation, we're not going to make it another 100 years. And we're truly committed to continuing to evolve and grow.
Well, and it sounds like by listening to your employees and what you can do to make their job easier, especially for the installers, like you just said. That really helps with the company culture, because a lot of manufacturers are experiencing that. Building and sustaining culture can be challenging on the plant floor. So what are some of the other things that you have found that is effective for keeping teams connected, motivated, and then continuously improving?
Yeah, so our culture pillars are simply caring, learning, driving results. And I think the connection of those three things is really important. Care comes to life in lots and lots of ways at Pella. Care for our customers through great products, great service, right? Constantly getting better for our customers through things like innovation and our deep care for them. Care for communities. We have an amazing foundation that helps support tremendous philanthropic work across the enterprise. And so we have opportunities for our team members to get involved in their communities, in the causes that they care deeply about within their communities. And there's a big focus on creating opportunities for giving back, which I think absolutely helps with the caring culture. And then caring for each other. This is a really interesting one, and it has absolutely evolved over time. It is a great place to work. I love my colleagues, my teammates, but care for each other isn't just about being nice. It's about a competitive and winning spirit. It's about making progress. It's about evolving and changing and staying in front of things like technology. So it's been really fun to think about care in a way that's caring boldly, right? Caring, not being afraid to tell the truth and challenge each other a little bit, while also creating a great environment where we want to work together and collaborate. So I think a broad focus on our culture and this caring, learning mindset and this commitment to delivering results has really helped us maintain that thread and keep it at a forefront for all of our managers.
Well, and I think there was a couple things that you mentioned that really helps when you're looking at attracting especially younger workers into it, that sense of community and giving back, because employees want to be part of something that's bigger than they are. And when they see organizations that are making their dent in the universe of giving back to the community, they want to be a part of that. But then when you were talking about also caring for others, not only is that great from a culture standpoint, but also from a safety standpoint, because it sounds like that they're also, when you're caring boldly, that creates a safe environment, because people are probably not afraid to say, hey, that's not safe, stop doing that.
That's a great point. And just creating an environment where all voices are welcome, encouraged. When we get all the voices on the table, we certainly make better decisions, we get better ideas. So it's so important to have that inclusive culture of care that supports the success of all team members.
Yeah, now, we've talked about this a couple times. You've championed women in engineering and helped to expand the representation in your field. So what have those efforts taught you about inclusion, and how can other manufacturers create real momentum in this area?
I'm really proud of Pella's work in general on attracting and retaining talent. Manufacturing is so critical to our economy, and there's a shortage of team members to work in manufacturing and engineering. So that means we have to continue to work in this space broadly. And one of those focus areas for us is women, right? Because we know that women are underrepresented in both manufacturing and engineering. A couple of things that I've learned a lot along the way. One is just the importance of representation and connection, how important it is to show up, to provide encouragement and mentorship and engagement, but also to help spark ideas about what's possible. I think about engagement with schools. So we spend a lot of time with K-12 schools talking about manufacturing, talking about engineering. So students start to think about, oh, maybe I would be interested in that. We do different activities with them. We actually, just a few weeks ago, had the Girl Scouts of Iowa visiting Pella, and we had a big event called Inspiring Women in Skilled Trades. We had 100 Girl Scouts, elementary and middle school age students coming in, and we did all kinds of exciting activities to help show them what it might look like to work in manufacturing or work in a skilled trade. And we had so much fun. There was great buzz and energy. around Pella that day. And so it was just awesome to help see their little minds and the creativity going about what was possible for them, but also spending a ton of time with universities. We have internship programs and trade programs where they can come see what it's all about to work in manufacturing and in engineering. And it's a great way to build relationships. These programs have been a huge pipeline for us to secure talent. We meet them, we build relationships, and then they want to come work for Pella long term. So that's been just awesome for us. The other thing I would say is all of the work on attraction is for naught if you don't have an amazing inclusive culture where all voices are heard, where the right development is in place. And so you have to balance the attract with the inclusive culture to also retain, and they're equally as important as you're trying to broadly fill your talent pipeline.
So you mentioned that was a couple of weeks ago with bringing the Girl Scouts in. So is that part of a program for Manufacturing Day, or is that just one of the programs that you do throughout the year?
We do several things throughout the year. That one was part of, we celebrate Manufacturing Month. So the whole month of October, we have all kinds of activities. So the Girl Scouts was one of those events. Last week, we actually had a group of 8th graders from the local schools here come in and do actually steady set window installation competitions. And they got to see our factory and the automation and see what it was like in manufacturing. So there's lots of opportunities throughout the year, but we definitely do some extra things in Manufacturing Month to create that great buzz.
If that's such a good idea, if other people listening to this show would like to do something similar, what's the step? How do you contact the school? Who do you talk to? How do you get these type of programs where you have 8th graders or Girl Scouts coming in? Because I think that's such a good pipeline, just introducing younger people into the field so they can see what it is and get away from that dark, dirty, and dangerous mentality that their parents may have told them about.
Yeah, it's certainly going to depend on the school system. I know for us, we've built relationships over time, and so we have great connections now. But I will say just a phone call to the principal of the school or even getting in touch directly with the science teachers. A lot of times the science teachers are looking for opportunities to do activities in their classrooms or even bring students in to do things in industry. And so I think science teachers are a great outlet, but I also know that the principals can often put you in touch with the right folks, the right curriculum folks within the school, really to get those lines of communication going.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There's lots of opportunities in universities as well. We have great relationships with the College of Engineering, the Industrial Engineering College, the Women in Science and Engineering. And so we show up at their clubs and at their events, really to share about Pella, but also share about the industry. And that's another great way to build relationships.
Yeah, I know. I share a lot with my audiences as far as the teaming up with your local community college and just being the face there so people know who you are and what your company does and build those relationships. So as they're looking for jobs, they already know who you are. It was funny because I did that and I had a couple community college people in the audience that said, yeah, basically we can create exactly the type of employees you need, the curricula for them. So just getting involved in it sounds like you are from all levels, from elementary school, K through 12 up to colleges and internships, and just getting out in the community and doing the right things to build those relationships. How have you seen the perception of manufacturing shift over time? And what do we still need to do in order to attract and retain the broader range of talent that we need?
I do think it's evolving. I'm so close to it, so it's hard to know for sure. But I do think that the perception of manufacturing, I think the perception of trades in general is changing. And I think that's a really good thing, that folks' eyes are opening about where great careers are available, great development is available. So I do think over time, we've gotten into a better place. I certainly think that there's more work to do. A couple of areas I was thinking about around manufacturing and how to attract and retain more. One is manufacturing is an environment where schedules can be very difficult because we have production output to serve our customers. And thinking of creative ways to really make sure that there's more flexibility in schedules for folks that are raising young families, or maybe they're supporting elderly family members and they need more opportunities to flex time. I know we have some creative solutions, but I think the industry could come together and really be even more creative to create flexibility, to create spots for more people that want to do amazing manufacturing work, but maybe can't commit to the specific rigorous schedules that many manufacturers have.
I was going to say about flexibility in manufacturing. I think before the pandemic, we never really put those two words in the same sentence. And now it's not a nice to have, it's an expectation. So just asking yourself the question instead of saying, we can't do that, how can we do that? And it sounds like you have figured out some ways. I've heard people going to 4-day work weeks or doing the parent shift where they have from people working from 10 to 2. Some people are sharing jobs that they can do that. So what are you doing at Pella to create some of that flexible scheduling?
Yeah, we have several schedule models, including some instances of 4-day work weeks and some job sharing and things like that. What I will say is there's lots of different options today on the table, but there's always a demand or desire for even more flexible options. So I don't think we've fully arrived yet, but certainly are working on different ways and creating more options for team members to show up with more flexibility in their schedules.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking a lot about, we call it the 4Ds, difficult, dangerous, dull jobs, and just how do we continue to automate in those jobs that are tougher? And I know that's been a big focus for us. So where we're investing to put technology is in those places that are dangerous or dull or difficult or dirty. And that's been really imperative for us. But I also think that manufacturers continue to do more. Some manufacturing roles can be physically demanding, or maybe they're cognitively demanding, or maybe it's just really repetitive and boring. And so how do we innovate and automate to make it better for the team so that more folks are available to fill those roles, are interested in staying in those roles? I know that's been a big push for us. I was thinking a lot about a big transformation we have in our site here in Pella, Iowa, where we manufacture doors. And we have put a huge amount of technology into the factory here. We have automated guided vehicles that move the products around so team members aren't having to lift products. Actually, those vehicles change height based on the team member that's working on the unit at that station, so it's more ergonomically friendly. There's tons of digital tools now where data insights so our team members can drive the right actions and make better decisions. It's at their fingertips. So there's just lots and lots of ways that we can continue to make the jobs even better so more people are attracted and want to stay in them.
Wow. Yeah, I was just at a textile association, and it was interesting because when they were talking about all the accidents that happen in a laundry facility, one of the biggest one was strain, and that is on pushing and pulling the carts all over. So these little things that we don't necessarily think about that can lead to so much physical strain, we start by automating the things that employees either dislike doing the most or have the most potential to hurt them. Employees see that you care and they're like, wow, that seems like a company that I'd like to work for. So again, sounds like you're on the right track with technology as well. So when you're looking ahead, what is giving you hope or energy about the next era of American manufacturing?
I am just so excited about the people of manufacturing. When I even just watched the team adapt and evolve and change as market conditions change, as new technology is implemented, we have just an amazing workforce. And it just gives me a lot of energy to continue to innovate, drive forward, grow, so we can create even more jobs to benefit families and our communities. So I'm just energized by the amazing people of manufacturing.
So for somebody listening to this show, obviously culture doesn't happen overnight, and it's certainly not going to change overnight. And you've been doing this for a long time, and there is so much golden nuggets in there as far as what organizations can do to build a great team culture. So for somebody just getting started and focusing on that, what is the best first step? What would be your words of wisdom for them?
I think my words of wisdom are no strategy is effective without the team. The team is the most important thing. The people are the most important thing. And so make it about them. Listen to them. Make sure that when I say them, both the customer you're serving and the team members that you have executing your strategy and serving your customers, you have to be listening and you have to be making sure that your teams are working together, that they are collaborating, and you have a positive working environment.
All right, awesome. If somebody would like to continue the conversation with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, please find me on LinkedIn. It's Laura Phillips.
Okay. And Laura, it has been such a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Lisa, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
I'm Lisa Ryan, and this is the Manufacturers Network Podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Manufacturers Network Podcast. Do me a favor and share this podcast with your friends and colleagues so we can grow this network and connect more fantastic folks just like you. You can either send your buddies to the website at manufacturers-network.com or share the Manufacturers Network podcast on your LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or wherever you and your industry friends hang out. The bigger and faster we grow the network, the stronger and deeper the community we'll all have. Thanks again, and I appreciate you.